Good evening. I'd like to call the January 22nd, 2018 McCracken County Fiscal Court meeting to order. This time I'd ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Here.
Commissioner Byer.
Here.
Commissioner Wathen.
Here.
And Judge Leeper.
Here. Commissioner Bartleman, lead us in a word of prayer, please.
Let us pray. Father, we just thank you for the blessings of this day. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to petition our concerns and needs to you, Father. We're thankful, Father, for the safety we've had over the snow that we've had, Father, that we didn't have any major injuries or breakdowns, and we just continue to pray for a deputy sheriff who was injured in a effort to pursue a criminal, Father. We just pray continue to be with him and his family. And Father, we're just so thankful for all our first responders, for our jail employees, and for all those who work to provide safety for the residents of this county. Again, we're just so thankful for what you do. We just pray you be with us tonight and help us to make the decisions that we need to make to better this community, Father. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the January 8th, 2018
So moved.
Fiscal Court
Second.
meeting. A motion by Commissioner Bartleman, second by Commissioner Byer. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The motion's approved. We have three items up for discussion tonight. The first, we have Brian Stewart with the McCracken County Soccer League and Soccer Association, everything soccer, about our effort out at the McCracken County Recreational Complex.
Can we hold on?
Okay, can you hold just a second?
I didn't notice this earlier. That's right. Never mind.
We don't have to hold on to anything except for just the excitement. We have to hold on to the excitement. Brian's going to report into you the progress that they've made, and there has been a considerable amount. It's very noticeable, and we appreciate that. I'll say that before you start, but fill us in on what's going on.
Well, my primary purpose for being here tonight is really to thank you, Judge Leeper, and Commissioners Bartleman, Byer, and Wathen for your support, for your financial contribution to McCracken County Youth Soccer League. It's been a good year. I think we've accomplished a lot. There's still a lot to be done. And I also want to let you know who our board members are. I have two of them here tonight. One is Charlie McKenzie, he's Vice President. And the other is Joanna Brown. She is our treasurer. Other board members are Jimmy Pierce. He handles registration, our website, maintenance and development, and IT. Scott Kirkpatrick is our director of officiating, and Tara Troutman Cobb is our marketing and communications director. I'm president. I think they wanted somebody with a lot of experience and a passion and wisdom. They had just got an old guy. But I do have the passion for soccer. It's something that's been in our family for 37 years, I guess, now. And the ones that started 37 years ago are still playing. And so we're there. I have 4 grandchildren that are playing now. So it continues on. Charlie McKenzie is with E-Tel. Joanna Brown is with Regions Bank. Jimmy Pierce works for Westlake. Scott Kirkpatrick works at what used to be, I still call it West Vaco. I don't know what the name is now. And Tara Cobb is with Troutman Signs. So all of them have full-time jobs. They're volunteering and giving up their time. I'm the only one out of the bunch that's retired, but I think I've got the most important job of all of them. During the week, I help my wife take care of our 2 youngest granddaughters, and I think that is a very important job. Let's see. Your financial contribution. It was a big help to us this year. It enabled us to purchase an Exmark zero-turn mower with a 72-inch deck, and also a 12-foot by 30-foot storage building. We used the storage building to house the mower. Previously, we were housing it over at the county road department and had to have a key to get in. I had to make sure, we got it locked when we got through it too. Now we can have it on our property and don't have to bother Randy and the county road department. We use it to store portable goals, banners, nets, corner flags, field markers, field marking paint, soccer-related items. It's been a big help, and we really appreciate your contribution that made it possible for us to make those 2 purchases. The purchase of the mower also allowed us to do mowing in-house. Previously, we would have to contract out the mowing. For 2016, 33 mowings of the fields ran us right at $19,000. And doing it in-house with the same mowing cycle, we can save approximately $10,000. So the mower in less than 1 year would have paid for itself. I'd like to give you a summary of our fall season. We had 240 kids registered. We formed 26 teams. They played a 6-match schedule over a 5-week season. And we reached out to match that county soccer and scheduled 2 weekends of games with them, home and away, and did that with our U10 and U12 teams. We utilized elite soccer services to provide once weekly training sessions for our U8, U10, and U12 players. It didn't cost them anything, didn't cost the players anything. And we also encourage our coaches to come. A lot of them are new, don't have a lot of experience coaching, and so that gives them an opportunity to gain some training as well. We established a good working relationship with the Puma Soccer Club. We have players and coaches and board members who are both a part of McCracken County Youth Soccer Association and the Puma Soccer Club. The Pumas help us with field layout, striping, and maintenance. Part of it is on a cash basis, part of it's on an in-kind services basis. But it's working well for us and for them, I think. And we are working with the Pumas to schedule a 3v3 soccer tournament after the end of our regular season. The revenue generated by this tournament will be split between the Pumas and the McCracken County Soccer Association. We've developed a new and much improved website, working with Dick's Sporting Goods, and really at no cost. They just do some advertising, offer some coupons, and if you get a chance, go to www.mccrackensoccer.com. It looks much better, has new functions and features. It's much more user-friendly and provides for better communication with our coaches and parents. And we've been receiving some very favorable comments. The majority of our player registrations are done online through the website. Makes it better for all concerned that way. We also have a Facebook page where we can get information out to all the parents. We started registration January 1 of this year. It will extend to February 25th. And after that, we developed a timeline to give us adequate time for registration between the end of registration and the start of the season, where we can form teams, assign coaches, inform parents, order jerseys, and give them adequate practice time before the season starts. And before the season starts, we'll have a free coaches clinic, and that will be conducted by Brian Hantack, who is the McCracken County High School girls soccer coach. And Coach Hantack will also use his high school players to have a skill sessions for the players, for our players. And he's also offered his players to assist any of our recreational coaches that would like the help. So we're developing a relationship with the high school and their coaches. Far as facility improvements, we short-term plan to we hope to erect permanent field marker signs. And what we would like to do is take a signpost similar to what your county road department uses, and drive that into the ground if permissible, and put a field number on there that, on our schedule, we give the teams field numbers where they'll be playing. So we're hopeful that your county road department will be able to help us with that. But if not, we will find a means to erect and display the signs. And Judge, we also want to erect a flagpole. And really, I'll give you credit for that idea. So that's another one of our goals: erect a flagpole and display our American flag there. So that's our short-term goals. Longer-term goals. My primary one, I think the primary deficiency of our facilities is we do not have permanent restrooms. It's all porta toilets. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to find a somewhat centrally located spot for a restroom facility. I believe close to where the road comes from your facility over to the soccer complex, I believe there's an area there that is outside the landfill limits. And of course, that would have to be approved by the state EPA. But, I'd like for them to give us either an okay that yes, it's okay that can be done there, or if not, if they'll work with us in finding a location where we can erect permanent restroom facilities. I understand that after this spring, hopefully after this spring season, that the state is anticipating recapping the soccer fields, soccer complex. And hopefully if they do that, it will be done soon enough after our season is over to allow for us to establish adequate grass and get the fields ready for the fall season. Once the recapping is done, we're hopeful that the road and parking areas can be improved. We haven't had a need to erect any speed bumps on our road network. That has happened naturally with the settlement underneath the roadway. Some areas, on the back part especially, it's almost impassable with passenger cars, you know. So we're hopeful that, you know, with the completion of the recapping of the fields, that some work can be done on our roadway and parking structure. Long-term vision, dream, whatever you want to call it, is a new soccer complex, now sports complex. I do a lot of traveling with my grandkids, with my kids to soccer facilities, and there's some really good ones out there that are that are a big benefit to their communities. So, you know, my dream is that one day, somehow, some way, we'll find the funds and have the desire, the commitment to build a baseball, softball, soccer complex in Paducah and McCracken County. I have just a list of our board members. Any questions or comments, suggestions? Any of you might have?
Only comment is please thank all your board members for all the hard work that they do. And of course, Judge Leeper has been very instrumental in some of those projects out there, and it does look much better. And I can tell that you have much more pride than we've seen in past years. And thank you, all your board members, for all the hard work, please.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Stewart, would you give that website address again in case
It's,
somebody wanted to donate?
Okay, it's www.mccrackensoccer.com.
Thank you.
I want to comment too, if I could. My grandson played baseball, so I didn't spend a lot of time around soccer fields, so I know what it's like to do that traveling. And I had really never been, that's all right. I'd never really been out to your soccer complex until the judge was promoting some of the work that needed to be done out there. The weekend I went out there, there just happened to be a tournament going on. And I couldn't believe what I saw out there, the number of kids that were there. If I recall, and I was looking, I had sent a text to the judge when I was out there. I was looking for it and couldn't find it. But as I recall, there were cars there from 6 states and 20 to 25 Kentucky counties, all the way up. Some were from northern Kentucky. There was an Ohio car there. And I just walked up. I didn't spend a lot of time, but I just want to commend the work you've done and the work everybody's done to put that together and to keep the complex working. Again, the judge has really promoted that heavy and worked hard to clean it up and make it better than I'm sure what it was 5 or 6 years ago. But I want to commend the work that you've done. It's just, I was amazed when I went out there and saw so many kids.
Great.
Again, I had never been to that soccer complex, and I thought there were a couple fields out there right in the beginning along the road, and it goes way back, and there's fields all over the place, and there were people out there working hard, lining the fields, and working a makeshift concession stand at the time, and I just want to commend the work you've done, and I agree with you. I hope that someday that we can come together with the city and build a sports complex that includes baseball, softball, soccer, aquatics, and who knows what else it might have out there. And I'm like you, I did a lot of traveling with my grandson on baseball, and we want those people to travel in here and spend some money and enjoy what we have here. So maybe someday we can come up and do that. But again, my main comment is just to commend you and the work you've done and your board's done and all the volunteers you've had over the years. I know usually you get in there 4 or 5 years when your kids or grandkids, when they get beyond the years that they're playing soccer, people usually drop out. But you've been in there a long time and done a good job. But everybody out there in the past, present, and future just done a great job.
Thank you, Commissioner Bartleman and Commissioner Byer and Wathen. I appreciate your support, your comments, and your financial contribution. I especially want to thank Judge Leeper. He's been my contact person, offered good suggestions, answered my questions, guided me and directed me along the way, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's been a big help.
Let me finish this up just by commenting a couple of things. You mentioned waiting on the state. We've got a lot of vision, and one of the most frustrating things I've found about this job is waiting on other people to do their part. And I know the board members, Charlie probably approached me about this first of all the people that contacted me about the situation. I know he and I are probably equally frustrated with the time it's taken to move forward on things, but things have process, and process takes time, and so we're working with the state. Mr. Moore's in constant contact with them, and we're hoping they'll move and we can take some action this summer. But the main thing is the commitment of these commissioners, because they're key to this whole thing, and they've been committed since we brought the idea to them of making some investment out at the recreational complex out there, and soccer was number one. First thing we did was simple, as tearing down a barbed wire fence and putting up something that looked more attractive. And I like to say that couldn't tell whether we wanted to keep the kids in or keep them out before. And it's now obvious that we want them to participate and their parents to be proud that they're there. And we're going to continue to work to spend the money that we have to make them even more proud and more safe, and improve the situation as best we can, as quickly as we can. Unfortunately for me, this stuff takes time, and I'm not comfortable with that, but that's the situation we're in. But the main thing that I want to share with you is the commitment of these three gentlemen to improving your situation, and the appreciation they have, the fact that we can do it with so much volunteer effort, because that's the only way we can do it. And your time and the members of the board are key to making this happen. We appreciate that very much.
If I may refer to myself in such a way, I'm the new kid on the block as far as the board. Charlie and Jimmy, the ones that have been on there all along, they've had to get me up to speed and kind of direct me along the way. And without
You're a quick study. They're good teachers, and you're a quick study. We appreciate it very much.
We have a commitment to make the facility that we have the best we can. There are some limitations and restrictions and all, but we're going to do the best we can with the facility there.
Appreciate that.
And we thank you for your support in doing
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Randy Williams. Speaking of assistance that the county has helped out, we get called on occasionally. There's some things we can't do and some things we can't do, but when we can do, Randy's kind of critical to helping Brian, and we appreciate you and your staff's role and the assistance you played out there also.
That's what
not why
neighbors
you're
are
here.
for.
That's not why you're here. Tell us what you're here for.
Well, if you can actually believe it, I can talk a little bit this week about a snow and ice event. Some of you may remember a recent event that we had. We went into it knowing that it was going to be, I think it was the Thursday before last, that we knew sometime that Thursday night, early Friday morning, the rain would be changing over to freezing rain and sleet. I'd planned to get out about midnight and start checking the roads and the conditions and call the crew in as soon as we needed to. I got a call about a tree down because of all the wind, so I got out, cut the tree up, and I noticed at that time that the tree had started getting a little bit of ice on it then, but checked the pavement temperatures, they were still well up in the 40s, let the guys keep sleeping as long as I could. Around 1 o'clock, pavement temperatures had dropped on down into the 30s. So at that time, we went ahead and called the crew in. Around 2 o'clock, most of the trucks were out, already starting to throw salt down just before, the sleet and freezing rain, really hit hard. They worked every day up until Friday dealing with this. It was a tough one. Having a sleet and freezing rain at first is not a easy one to deal with. See where I'm at here. We really hadn't planned to do too much a few of the days because of the temperatures. We didn't think it would be able to. When you're got a high of 15 degrees, there's not much you can do. But we had the sun come out, and that sun was definitely a big help in what we did do. Anything that was facing a southern direction, you could tell the difference in it versus what had shade trees all around it. It was ice packed where you had shade trees, and it'd clear up where you did have sunshine. So that was probably our best worker we had was the sun, even though our other the guys on the crew really worked their tails off. We did have some issues this event, like I mentioned, the low temperatures. Salt just doesn't do very good at low temperatures. It doesn't work. Again, the sun really helped out with that. Altogether, we've got around 330 miles of road in the county, but that adds up, but that comes from 900 different roads that we have, or almost 900. And of course, they're spread out all over the entire county. And it takes us a while to go start where we're at and spread out and get all of those areas. We do have 12 areas that we've broken the county up to, and we've got 12 drivers. And we actually have 13 dump trucks. One of the issues we had, though, were breakdowns with the dump trucks. At the majority of the time of this event, we had 3 down all at the same time. 2 of those were newer trucks, and it was issues with the DEF fluid, which is diesel emissions fluid that's put on newer trucks for emissions control. So, thanks, EPA. We had 2 other trucks go down on us. I know I said 3 at one time, but one truck went down real early. It was an older truck. It had transmission and clutch go out in it. Another truck, the clutch started going out in it, but the driver was able to continue operating it in low gear. He didn't go anywhere very fast, but that worked out fine for this. About the time that truck played out, one of the newer trucks that had the DEF issues was repaired, so we were able to bring that one back on just about the time that one went out. Of course, we did have other issues like hydraulic hoses blowing, minor stuff like that were quick repairs that we could get on fairly quickly. Another issue, well, let me back up. Having those trucks down like that did cause us to get behind in some areas. I know, sorry, Commissioner Bartleman, but Reedland area did get behind. We did adjust trucks around and tried getting everybody the same level as we could. So there's a couple other areas that got a little behind down around the Contest Road area, and also up in the northwest corner got a little bit behind. But again, we adjusted drivers and tried making up for that. Another issue we ran into were cars parked in the road. If plow cannot get down the road, if cars are parked in it, those plows are really wide, and we can't take a chance of hitting the cars, and we sure can't get down if there's not enough room for it. I know a couple of the areas that we ran into that was Great Oak subdivision was one of them. Tralee was one of the areas that's just south of Lone Oak, and I understand that people have real steep driveways, and they were probably afraid that they couldn't be able to get out, but it prevented us from being able to get in and work the area like we needed to. And of course, the ideal way of dealing with snow and ice is you get the salt down first, let the snow happen, nobody drives on it, and then you come through and plow it off. But that's unrealistic that nobody's going to get out there and drive on it. And when that happens, it does pack it down, and it forms ice, and that's a lot more difficult to get off. But we stuck with it. And another big issue that we have is the drivers that drive these plows. They're not robots. I mean, they're not. You can't push a button and this stuff get done on its own. They do go without sleep. They get tired. And Judge Leeper, I know you've ridden with the plow drivers before. Their arms are constantly, they're steering, they're changing gears, they're shutting their salt off and on, they're moving the plow. They would go home at night and shut their eyes and try to go to sleep, and they're grabbing the air in the middle of the night, whether they have trouble sleeping because of it. I can't say enough about how proud I am of them. They, when it was real cold and the sun was the biggest help we would have, they would adjust they'd take an early lunch. I don't know, many of you taking 10 o'clock lunch, but they would take their lunch then and have all their trucks all fueled up, ready to go when we could have the most effect on the road. which is normally about 12 to 4 around in that area. And, they made sure at that time when they could be the most effective, they were ready to go then. So very proud of those guys. All this stuff does come at a cost. During this event, we've used about 2/3 of our salt supply. We went into it with around 1,000 tons, and I've got a little over 300 tons left. Altogether, that's cost us about $50,000 in salt. Labor was around $40,000, counting overtime and everybody's normal day rates. As far as equipment, of course, we already own the equipment, but we had several record bills pulling our guys out of the ditch, fuel repairs and wear and tear. If I were to turn equipment in to FEMA for some kind of reimbursement using the FEMA equipment rates, we would have about $60,000 worth of equipment on this one. So you're looking around $150,000 that we've put towards this event, fighting it. To put that in perspective, it takes around $75,000 to pave a mile of road. So, you're looking at about 2 miles of road that could have been paved with this, or theoretically could have been. So this stuff, it does come at a cost. So, we're going to do everything that we can, though. Of course, at the end of a snow and ice event, what comes next will be potholes. I was out Saturday checking roads, making sure that we didn't have any other areas we need to hit, and had my first person stop me and point out a pothole that we need to get. So if any of you have any calls about potholes, let us know, and we'll get on it as quick as we can. Only other thing I've got, I need to mention that the next fiscal court meeting is going to be, I believe, February 12th. At the beginning of that court meeting, we'll have a meeting on closing a small section of Old Hinkville Road. It's the section between Old US 60 and Roy Lee Road. It's actually been closed for quite a while, but we need to go through this step to make it do it officially and make sure that it's done properly and go ahead and get that closed. So, any questions or comments?
Question?
Just in
Thank you,
terms of
Dennis.
comment, thank you ever so much. I called you a number of times, and people did have concerns, and they were addressed, and I do appreciate
All right.
you and all the staff.
Randy, when we have a snow event like this, does the state help with the county and vice versa? Is there ever a chance that they ever?
Really, everybody's got their own roads that they deal with. State has state roads, county, and of course, city has city. We do get calls from people that say, hey, when are you going to get to my road? And we check, and it's, maybe a state road, and we'll give them their phone number. I know I had one lady complain to me that, you're cleaning these side roads, and you hadn't got my main road yet, and you get to checking, and the main road she's talking about was a state road. So, the state did a great job, too, and from what I'm seeing and reading, they went through a lot of their resources, too. They went through a large amount of their salt, so it wasn't just it was a pretty tough event for everyone.
I got to go out and drive around West McCracken. It looked great. You guys did an awesome job. I'm
Good.
very thankful for you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
I'll echo what they said. Everybody did a good job, and I really got more calls on Calvert Drive than what I did on any county road. Calvert Drive between Reedland Road and 62 is a state road,
Yes.
and I'm not sure what happens, but it seems like they always kind of miss that short stretch of road, and it's well traveled, and it was pretty icy. But y'all did a good job, and I commend the public for understanding the challenge that you faced. We all got a few calls, but we didn't get a lot of calls. So I think the public understood the challenge and the fact that the ice made it awful difficult. It was just snow. Probably would have had it cleaned a lot sooner, and if it wasn't as cold, you'd have it cleaned sooner. But again, I commend the public for their understanding of the challenge you faced.
Yeah, I do too. They were really understanding. I know we had several call and say thank y'all. We had one lady call and say, I know y'all have been busy, but please don't forget my road. And it could have been we forgot it. We made sure that we did get it. So
Thank you, Randy. My last comment, I'll just say it's if there's any good thing about a event like we just had, it's being able to watch your team work, because I consider them a team. You and Jerry oversee a good group of folks, ladies and gentlemen, and it's when you have an event like this, you can really see how they work like a team. I spent a little bit of time out there watching them work on the trucks, and as Randy said, preparing for the perfect time to go out and get the most out of the equipment that they had, and deal with some obstacles with that mission control things going out and everything, and weren't happy about it, but they didn't complain much. They just went and figured out a different way to do it and go back to work, and that's why they're good at it, and we appreciate their service very much. I know the taxpayers do.
I want to make one comment. It's interesting to watch Brian Stewart back there smiling about all this. He's a former district engineer with the state, and he had to deal with this problem for many years. And as Randy was talking about, he was just laughing and smiling. So maybe.
I really wanted to call him and just rattle his cage. I didn't have to complain.
Randy, I'll tell you what he told me in the grocery store some other time.
Okay, probably better. I can tell you about him too. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Randy. Last item in discussion is the holiday schedule. We put this into the meeting agenda each year and basically make you all aware of the holiday schedule that's in our book, but these are the dates that we've set aside to coincide with the policy manual that we have. There's no action necessary. It's just to make you all aware, and we'll make the employees aware of that schedule as we move forward. If there are no questions about that, we'll move into the budget transfers. No questions?
No.
All right.
Okay. Budget transfer. It is ordered to make the following cash transfers in order to pay the county bills approved January 22nd, 2018 in the amount of $320,205.74.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Ask clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Byer,
Aye.
Commissioner Waddon.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye. Next, accounts payable, excuse me.
It is ordered to approve the vouchers claims register from January 8th, 2018 to January 22nd, 2018 to show county bills in the amount of $581,456.09.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Bartleman, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye. Court orders, Madam Clerk.
It is ordered to approve the McCracken County Clerk's financial statement for the month of November 2017 in the amount of $136,601.58.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Byer. Any discussion? Ask clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Waddon.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to approve the McCracken County Clerk's summary report of delinquent tax collection and distributions for the month of December 2017 in the amount of $52,415.12.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any discussion? Ask the clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Waddon.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to purchase 2 new Ford F-250 trucks totaling $63,176.24 from the state price contract with Paul Miller Ford for the McCracken County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Byer. Any discussion? Ask the clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Waddon.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that Thomas Sparks be hired as a full-time road deputy at an annual salary of $43,000 less statutory deductions effective January 23, 2018. This includes the annual $4,000 incentive pay for POPS certified officers. It is further ordered that Thomas Sparks be paid a training stipend of $1,500.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Waddon.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that Deputy Jerry Jones' classification be changed from road deputy to detective at an annual salary of $44,000 less statutory deductions effective January 16, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Byer. Any discussion?
This is, Sheriff, this is within your budget guidelines, right? And he's filling a vacancy, is that right? Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Sheriff. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that $50,942.42 from the transient room tax escrow fund be transferred to the City of Paducah for bond payment on the Convention Center Series 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any further discussion? Ask clerk, call roll, please.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to pay Jim Smith Contracting Company, LLC, pay application number 9 in the amount of $567,369.13 for Maxon Road Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Ask clerk, call roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to approve the sheriff's fourth quarter financial report of fee account receipts and disbursements, subject to audit by the Commonwealth of Kentucky Auditor of Public Accounts.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk, call roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to accept the McCracken County Treasurer's financial statement for December 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any discussion? Ask clerk, call roll, please.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered to approve the McCracken County Sheriff's Report of 2017 fee account budget amendments and transfers, subject to audit by the Commonwealth of Kentucky Auditor of Public Accounts. The amendment to the budget is the result of an excess of anticipated receipts for the calendar year.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk, call roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that Nathan Young be promoted to Sergeant Deputy Jailer, effective November 26, 2017, at an hourly rate of $18 per hour, plus statutory deductions, all of which are subject to further order of the court.
So moved.
Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Byer. Let's get a second, and if we can get a second. Do we have a second? We don't have a second.
I'd like to move we pass over item K until we have an explanation of the jailer on this. This has nothing to do with the person involved in this, but has to do with their budget. And I move we pass over item K.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to pass over item K. Then we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass over item K. Let me express my opinion on this. While I understand your concern, I've had a conversation with both Mr. Young and Mr. White. They were promised these salaries back some months ago. They were not processed properly, which is not their fault. They worked in good faith, assuming they would be paid these salaries. With that being said, I think we should not move to pass over and go. We did that last meeting. We should not move to pass over these and go ahead and honor that commitment, whether we think it's right or wrong, considering the budget circumstances in the jail. I don't think it's fair to these gentlemen to have them continue to work under something they were promised for. But I'll take whatever action the court chooses to do.
Again, this is nothing against the Nathan Young. This goes back to November 26th, and I don't think people can be promised a salary increase. I think at some point we might be able to approve it, but the jailer's not here to explain this, and she's not here to explain why it wasn't properly processed back in November. And I just think until we get a handle on the budget, again, this has nothing to do with the employee. How much of an increase is it for him? Do you know?
I believe this one was, I don't know. I'm not going to say it on the record.
I think we need to pass over at least one more meeting until we can get a handle on what the cost of that is. I respect your opinion, and I apologize to the Nathan Young, but I just think we need to pass this over for one more meeting until we can get a handle on the budget situation and find out how much this is going to cost us.
All right, all those in favor of the motion to pass over signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign.
Aye.
Aye. So we've got a tie. I'm not sure where a tie goes on a motion to pass over.
15 days, you decide.
What's that?
On the Robert's Rules of Order that we abide by, the tie vote is, it tables the matter and it's passed over by operation of law.
Thank you.
It can't be acted on, so
Appreciate it.
passes.
Super. Thank you for being here.
Passes.
Timing is there. It is passed over.
Off the document.
All right. Thank you for the clarification. Next item.
It is ordered that Dominic White be promoted to Corporal Deputy Jailer effective October 27th, 2017, at an hourly rate of $15.13 per hour, plus statutory deductions, all of which are subject to further order of the court.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byers, second. Second. Do you have other?
I move we pass over item L for the same reason. Again, this is nothing against the person involved. We just need the jailer here to answer some questions regarding that, and I think we need to pass that over to the next meeting. I make that motion.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Barman, second by Commissioner Watson.
I just have a problem with any kind of, with this overage problem in the budget. I don't know if this is an increase or, could be adding to the problem or so. I don't feel comfortable giving any kind of raise. Like, again, nothing personally against these people, but I'm not sure if this is an increase or not.
I mean, my opinion is this is not overtime pay, but this is pay that's been promised employees, and they're employees of the jail. The incompetence of the jailers should not be a factor in this matter. We should pay our employees. They're under stress. They have a difficult job. They have a job apparently that they're being promoted to, and so that's my reason for feeling like that the jailer's incompetence should not be a factor in this matter. We should pay our employees what they've been promised.
I point out one more thing. We requested the jailer to be here tonight, and she's not here. And again, I agree with you, Commissioner Byer, but I think we need to pass over one more meeting, and we'll deal with it the next meeting, and just get a little bit more figures on how much it's going to cost. I don't think we're saying they won't get paid the money, but we just need to wait one more meeting till we get an explanation as to what's going on. Again, it's nothing against the employee or any of the employees involved in these.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign.
Aye.
Motion dies due to the tie. Next, item M.
It is ordered that Patrick Meyer be promoted to Corporal Deputy Jailer effective January 8th, 2018, at an hourly rate of $14 per hour, less statutory deductions, all of which are subject to further order of the court.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byer. Second, do we have a motion to pass over?
I move to pass over the same reasons, same comments, and again, it's nothing against the employee.
Second.
Motion is second to pass over item M. I'm sure we've all said our piece on these items, so I will ask all those in favor of the motion to pass over signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign.
Aye.
Judge, can
Motion
we
dies
request
for lack of a
that,
second.
pardon me,
That dies for lack of, or it's passed over due to lack of.
can we request at the next meeting that we have a information regarding how much of an increase it is and how much this is going to cost us? Again, I think we can act on it the next meeting, but I'd like to know how much
We'll have that information.
the hourly
next week.
increase is going back to October and November, if it's just so we know what we're doing.
And hopefully the jailer will be here to further explain. I want to correct something I just said on the recording. It didn't die for lack of a second. It was passed over because it was a tie vote. Next, item N.
It is ordered that Chrissy Wallace be reclassified from full-time deputy jailer to administrative secretary, a non-hazardous position at the same rate of pay effective January 8th, 2018.
Motion
So moved.
By Commissioner Byers, second.
Second.
By Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Seeing none, ask the clerk to call roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Christy Noth's salary be increased to $30,517.69 annually, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
Motion was from Commissioner Byers, second Commissioner Wathen. Any discussion?
I comment on this and the coming, there's other motions that are coming up regarding increasing salaries in the clerk's office. Let me say that as we discussed at our workshop last week, the clerk has done somewhat of a reorganization in her office and reduced a full-time employee. There's been some long-time employees that retired. And even with these increases, she will be saving money and it will be less than what the budget item is. So these are different than maybe what some of the others were because although they're getting salary increases, the reorganization and eliminating a full-time employee will actually save us money by giving these people raises and increased duties.
Thank you. Do we get a motion second?
Yes.
Ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Chris White's salary be increased to $30,517.69 annually, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Byer. Any further discussion? Ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Tina Harmon's salary be increased to $27,230.88 annually, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Bartleman.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wathen. Any further discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Barbara Baker's salary be increased to $27,230.88 annually, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Bartleman. Any discussion? Ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Corey Dotson's salary be increased to $26,467.60 annually, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wathen, second.
Second.
By Commissioner Byer. Any further discussion? Ask clerk call roll.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that McCracken County Deputy Clerk Natalie Morrison's hourly pay be increased to $13 per hour, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byers, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any further discussion? Ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
Commissioner Walden.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye.
It is ordered that Laurel Anderson be hired as a deputy clerk in the McCracken County Clerk's Office at an annual salary of $25,000, less statutory deductions, effective January 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Byers, second by Commissioner Wathen. Any further discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk call roll, please.
Commissioner Wathen.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Byer.
Aye.
And Judge Leeper.
Aye. Next, Madam Clerk, the board appointment.
It is ordered to appoint John Bauer as trustee to the Concord Fire District. Appointment to expire on June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Wathen, second by Commissioner Byer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Appointment is made. Any further comment? We've had a little bit more discussion than usual tonight. Any other comments before we go into executive session?
Judge, I'd just like the public to know that this fiscal court is is actively seeking solutions to the problems that we have at our jail, that we're very, very concerned with the overrides of the budget, and that I personally am extremely frustrated with the operation of the jail, and I hope that we can come to some resolution in the very near future.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, Commissioner Byer, do you have a motion for executive session?
I hereby move that the board go into closed session for discussions of matters pertaining to the following topics: proposed or pending litigation as permitted by KRS 61-810-1C, issues which might lead to the appointment, dismissal, or discipline of an employee as permitted by KRS 61-810-1F, or a specific proposal by a business entity whose public discussion of the subject matter would jeopardize the location, retention, expansion, or upgrading of a business entity as permitted by KRS 61-810-1G.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Byer, second by Commissioner Wathen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion's approved.